9:30. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I hope you've all had a chance to see the agenda. It's been on the library website. I take a motion to adopt the agenda. All in favor? Aye. We've had an opportunity to read the minutes from September 9th meeting. I'll take a motion to approve those minutes. Second? All right, all in favor? Aye. For my report, I'll keep it quick so we can concentrate on the budget. Training certificates or forms are due by the end of December. The trustee training policy approval will take care of in November. And at that November meeting, there is a training that I've signed up for that I'm happy to share with everyone that starts at 5 o'clock as a webinar pre-meeting, just to remind you guys.
And what is that training?
It is on being the best board you can be. That's a paraphrase, but it has something to do with being effective as board members.
Should we show up for that?
Probably 5:15. The webinar will start at 5. Because we previously agreed to move Marion's yearly evaluation to the last quarter. We're in it in the fourth quarter. We're moving to it. So you all have hard copy forms, the same standard form we've used the past 2 evaluations. And so it says you can email them to me, but I'm really having trouble with the sending and receiving emails. Jack Scott from sales is going to come help me figure that out, because if I create an email, the share doesn't go through. If I take one from Ted's creation, it's unavailable to people. So if you would not mind, hard copy, put your name on it, make a copy, and I'll just take it the old fashioned way. By November 11th. What's that?
Hate to see you do anything old style.
On that,
November 11th is Veterans Day, so our next meeting is on November 18th.
Right, but that would give me a chance to collect them before, a week before the meeting, where we would then have an executive session to discuss them.
Okay.
The library is closed back then.
Right. So I guess, how.
That November
You can
11th
email it to me if you want.
Can you open attachments?
I
can't deal with the Google Docs that you send, but
know,
But
and
what about
that's been,
It has to do with permissions.
I know.
yeah,
But what about if you just get it as an
You
attachment, like I
can-
sent you something? as an
we can
attachment?
try. I opened that attachment.
is this
so
identical to what Ted did in the past?
It is.
Look, so I can just pull up a previous email.
You
and just
can.
use that.
Yes,
She may or may not.
But we'll find out.
Yeah.
we'll try.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where you live.
But Marion will be able to, right? So Marion could have it here on site. Yes, you don't have any issues with emails, right?
Typically, no, but this last email where she sent that and the form for me to fill out,
But that was.
and I couldn't open any of it.
Right,
She had to give me permission. to give me
Right.
Sounds good.
right.
Did you
Not really
and
correct.
Eric's?
It just,
It just said access denied.
access
Yeah.
denied, yes.
But that was different. That was.
I'm gonna fix it, try and fix it.
We'll
But
fix it,
I,
yeah.
that's all I have for right now, but if you pull up the old one and email it, then that'll be fine. So the VP of Finance, we do need to pay the bills.
Okay, in front of you, there's 2 copies. Apologize, I had one late arrival when I got here today. Del Lorenzo Association, so I had to add that in.
Came in today.
So our total of the bills here going out this month is $4,098.51.
Mhm.
I'm also moving 15,000 from our operational, putting it in our operational account to bring that up, as you can see at the bottom line. And our interest bearing account now is at 130,479.68. So that is all I got. Received donations, we did receive 200 from Fourth Lake Community. Other than that, pretty explanatory. Waterhouse is oil. We got some forms just to fill out. We're still under the same price and everything, and Waterhouse is sold and it's a new company. So I'm sure everybody knows that.
I didn't.
I didn't know it. Yeah, they just want our tax exempt paperwork, so.
So we'll get Haley involved in that. Get that down. So I make a motion to add these bills for the month.
Is 980 typical of Del Lorenzo?
Pretty close.
Oh.
Last month wasn't quite that much.
It's a lot of money.
I don't know.
Grand every 30 days.
I think it'd be good to get a. I don't know why it's so high. No, because I've been doing a lot of it. I mean, she sends me the sheets and I've been doing a lot of it on my own.
We've had this discussion in the past.
It's not itemized, right? So,
We'll pick a number out of your hat. You know, I hate to say it, I hate to be that way. I
Yeah.
mean, last month, as you, all board members know how upset I was
Right,
with that error.
Yeah.
And then to find out that she hadn't even sent the check out.
Yeah.
That's a real slap. Shame on her.
but this 980, this is 3 separate invoices combined.
Total, going to the association.
3 separate invoices because they didn't send them.
No, they sent them.
They sent them. I
She
got- I
emailed
just
them
got
to me today.
Today.
But 3 separate.
3 separate months, or like, why,
No,
why do we have 3 invoices stacked?
He's got it.
See, I have so many notes out there in front of me tonight. First one states, bookkeeping worked on during the month of September. That was $423.75. QuickBook online subscription, $76.75. Payroll processing third quarter, $479.50.
So 3rd quarter, so that's for 3 months. Yeah, that's good. They file our payroll taxes and all that stuff.
do we have a motion?
I made a
To pay the
motion to
bills? I'll second that motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The managers, there's no secretary's report, right? The manager's report is received via email. Was everybody able to open that and read it?
I
on email?
apologize, I have not yet.
I did get a hard copy.
You gave a hard copy? Okay. We're all set there, though? We can,
It's basically, it's, for those of you who have had a chance to read it, it's basically statistics. Not a lot to report on new this month. Just quick reminder that we're gonna be mobile on the 25th for the fall festival. At the school, we're running a food drive for the month of October, part of the great give back. Last year we did winter coats for the school. This year we're doing a food drive to benefit the local food pantry. And then there's just a reminder that I will be on vacation December 7th through the 11th. Other than that, it's pretty much just statistics.
okay.
So,
That's the pallet with the boxes. That's a food drive.
yes. Yep, and there's also a sign up there too that we're not accepting them here. We're redirecting them to the food pantry directly, but they are looking for cash donations because they would like to purchase fresh produce for the Thanksgiving baskets that they hand out.
Okay.
So.
That's the Presbyterian Church food pantry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many families do they usually have?
They're doing 115 baskets this year.
All right, thank you, Marion. So on to, not really old or new business, but on to the committee work of this beginning a proposed budget for 2027.
Can I interrupt a second?
Sure.
Gene, you're the only one here. Do you want to address this? So then this is, or do you want to stay here for all this budget stuff? Not,
I would love to just do my thing and get out.
is that right? You,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because
All right.
I would appreciate that immensely. I just, there was some, back and forth, and I sent everyone an email, and I have to say that I did take it that Marion was asking me to go out and do that, because it said, go out and do that, basically, is what the email said. After I sat here and I said, you guys need to go out and you need to be out in the public and stuff like that. And I did follow up with some of the organizations from what we had discussed going out every year as the manager of the library. And no one has said that they've really seen anybody. And when I made that list, I followed up with most of those people and they said they haven't seen anybody. So I did talk to some people and they have not seen the survey stuff. The high school kids have not seen it because it's on little things that they're walking by, they don't know that. So again, I took a little offense to that because I said, you guys have to go out there and be representatives. And then an email comes 2 days later saying, can you go out and do this for us? And that was a little taken back, and I'm here and no one else is here. And I'm giving you the feedback from the community that I get. And yes, I see other people, but you have the opportunity to go out and go and see those other people. And I also suggested that we do the story hour at 10. I see that you're doing it every other week, but I also said on Wednesdays and you're doing it on Tuesdays. Did anybody come Tuesday?
No, but
No.
Jean, so I want to say that, did you see my response email?
Yes.
Okay,
and You're
so-
elaborated on that, but
Yeah.
that's not what the email came from what Marion said.
Right.
So
But I saw Marion's email and I do have to say that she said, if you talk to someone,
no,
this
it
is the survey.
No, it didn't. say
So, okay,
that. It didn't.
but I do want you to feel appreciated, heard, listened to, and we are working, but we
It
can't
said-
always just,
I'm asking you if you would help us get the survey into their hands. That's what it said. Those are the words.
okay,
So you're asking me to go out and do that after I just got done saying, you guys have to go out and do that. Because I'm doing what I can do, but it's not my job.
It isn't.
It's not my job.
right, it
So
isn't your
I
job.
took offense to that.
Mhm.
And I've been here and I've been here longer than all of you have been here. And I'm trying, but everything that I suggest, it seems like there's a slam in the face. So I have to say, seriously, I mean, back when I was on the original planning committee, you guys tried to kick me off. Oh, I got back on it. Okay. And Marion blatantly lied and said in her email from, yes, you did, because I had
Please,
those
can we
emails too.
refrain
I'm-
from
I'm-
personal
no,
account,
No, I'm
attacks?
telling
You
you,
have a
every time
2-minute
I come to
rule
do
here.
something,
Well, we can
It
be
seems like-
civil in doing it instead of saying she lied.
but
You
she
should just-
did, because I had that email too, when she said that the board said that they couldn't leave. And it was a whole big discussion. You weren't on the board at the time, but Josh was, and so was Maggie. And I had the email and I said, I have the email. When she said that they couldn't do that, I stopped it. And then she sat at a board meeting saying how I dropped the ball on this, I dropped the ball on that. But I had an email that said, the board said no. Okay, then I'm done. So then I come last week and I'm trying, and I think you guys are doing good things. But it seems like, yes, there's a struggle every time I suggest something. And it comes down to, I can guarantee you 5 kids here on Wednesday. And you're like, yeah, great, we're gonna start doing that. But you're doing it on Tuesday. Where I said last meeting, if you go back and you look at the recording, it said, I said Wednesdays would be the best because Tuesdays and Thursdays, the 3-year-olds have class. And I can guarantee you 5 kids on Wednesdays and then you have it on Tuesdays. So I have to say, I have to be done because it's really frustrating to me that I'm here and every time I suggest something and give you, not that I'm solving your problems, but I'm trying to work with you to elaborate on your community service and I'm getting shut down every time. And it's really frustrating because I have been here for 5 years trying to get this library. So I have to say, I'm done.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jean.
And here's your things for your, trying to sign the kids up. So thank you very much and good luck.
I just figured we.
That's all right. I want her to be heard. Every public
Yeah, no,
member should
she's
be
got a
able
right
to
to be
say
heard.
what they need to say. I'm
Yep.
sorry that it's so upsetting and feels so divisive and separating, because I thought that we were really trying. One of the reasons it was on Tuesday instead of Wednesday is because I'm a volunteer and I have Bible study on Wednesdays. So I came on Tuesday at 10 o'clock to read and no one came, but, and I signed up a bunch of my friends that are coming and their day was Tuesdays. So I felt like we were trying to respond and do the things that were suggested and being grateful for those suggestions and for participation. So I would like to, I don't want to talk behind her back now that she's gone. So I would like to have been able to say that to her. And I tried in the email to say, I felt great. I think that I don't want to speak for anybody. I know I was grateful for suggestions and I thought we were trying to implement them to the best of our ability. One thing we can't do is when anybody from the public or even any one of us or even a staff member, when we want people to be heard, that's important. They should be heard, respected, and appreciated. But we can't always just create exactly the way it was suggested either. I mean, Wednesdays might be the best day, but we're looking for volunteers. We didn't have volunteers for a Wednesday. So I'm hoping that we can communicate that back and forth to say, thank you for the idea. We're going to try to implement it. I personally did not feel like Marion was saying, do the job. I know the wording was exactly as she read it. I felt like the email was gracious. Thanks for the suggestion. If you say that you're talking to all these people that didn't know the survey, here's the survey so they can know the survey. And thank you. And I don't know, I've seen it go out on the backpacks. I've seen things maybe that Jean hasn't seen. She's seen things that I haven't seen. I don't want to assume that she's wrong in what she's saying, but you know what I mean? I know all of us are working and I know she's working too, so.
I think it's bigger than this one moment, though. I think Gina's been mistreated by this board in the past. And that if you look at email histories of board members and the previous board president, you'll definitively see that. And I think it's without a doubt that that's happened. I think even so, to a degree that she doesn't recognize, that she doesn't understand how she's been mistreated. But I believe she has been seriously mistreated by this board.
What do you think we could do?
I don't know. I think we burn a bridge. I think we have to extend an olive branch and tell her she's appreciated. So you
Which I
said,
thought I did. I tried to. I said, we're very grateful for your suggestions and we're even implementing one. And like,
so saying you're grateful and showing you're grateful are two different things, right? Showing you're grateful is a preemptive email telling her, hey, this is not the direction we're going to take because these are the different pieces that make us to have to make an executive decision that makes sense for the business. Obviously the organization, not the business. Saying you care is when she's sitting here and she's like, you're not listening to me. And you're like, oh, we care, but we're not going to do what you say. Do you know what I mean? There's a strong difference between the two.
do you see the difference in being able to say, we're hearing what you're saying, but we have to take that and go make decisions and
So the
maybe not
difference between what
immediately
we're saying
respond
is
or-
that it could have been communicated to her prior to her seeing this situation. There could have been better communication. If she's the only one that's willing to invest from the public, in a personal capacity like that, maybe we respect that on a different level than we do everyone else. And we reach out to her and we show her that we care about her and what she has to say. But
I think that Janice did reach out and said, we've taken your suggestion and we've already implemented one of your suggestions. I also was not aware that she had said only Wednesdays. What I heard from
I
that
missed
was.
that as well.
I was a little caught off guard by the conversation, but what I can tell you is I was intimately involved in conversations prior to this where she was seriously mistreated, just because people didn't like her. And that's ridiculous. That's outrageous. And it shouldn't stand. I think that when you have that happen one time, it can carry over and feel like that's continuously happening.
I honestly thought things were better this year because the first year we weren't able to work with the Hadley youth because it was just Claire and I. And because of the 2-person rule, it was not possible for one of us to leave the library. And I don't know if that's what she's referring to, but that was not a lie, because we were told there had to be 2 people here. This year we were able to work with her. I reached out to her early in the year and got the ball rolling. And Taylor went there every week and did crafts, you know, with the kids and stories. And we tried and we did it, and went very, very well. And, you know, it'd be nice to hear a little acknowledgement about that instead of just criticizing us for not showing up to the year end.
I don't wanna keep talking about it because she's not here and I don't wanna
No,
feel
but
like
I'm just saying,
but
we are trying,
so-
we are extending,
We
we
should all
are
be-
trying with our limited resources, we are making efforts.
We'll have to be more sensitive to that and
I
allow
got a
more
question.
communication. But we do have to get to the budget, because at
Yep.
8:00 we're done. However, but go ahead if you want.
Why do you have to be here to read to these little kids? We've got 3 staff members here.
Well,
We don't have
it's
someone
the
available
10
at the
o'clock time
I'm sorry.
that,
We didn't have somebody available at the time. She was saying that 10 o'clock is a better time for kids.
So
Right.
we don't have 3 employees
Not
here?
at 10
Not at
AM,
10
no,
a.m.
Taylor
10
comes in
a.m.
at 1.
Yeah.
so I said I
Okay,
would come
that
in,
answers
and then I
it.
got a bunch of friends to sign up to come in.
That was the reason, because we were having 1 o'clock story hours, because that's when Claire was,
Okay.
when
Understood.
Taylor was available.
Thank you.
So that was the reason.
Plus, I like it, I'm fine with that, but.
No, I'm
Yeah, no,
But that's the reason. we're
Okay.
different ones.
And,
All right.
yeah, and Taylor needs to head start on Friday mornings,
Mhm.
she splits her day. And
Okay.
then, you know, we're trying.
All right, we are
Thanks,
trying,
budget.
we're all gonna keep trying. So this is you guys are the lead on the budget, right? Like, I don't even know how you started it with Ted, but Mary, you get to,
I get to run,
you
okay.
get to lead us with your worksheet
Well,
here.
you guys have a colorful little worksheet, and the green line is just to kind of break up the different sections. I built it off of the current approved budget that we are working from. Did rearrange it a little bit, tried to put the, non-negotiables, if you will, at the top. You know, we have to have a copier, we have to have insurance, you know, we have bookkeeping fees, we have to pay the alarm company, you know, the utilities, all those things are, we can't do anything about those. And so the first column is the current approved budget that we're working off of. Next to that is our actual year-to-date, based on, most of them are based on the end of September. The front desk deposits, are based on, as of the last deposit I did, in early October. I double checked those numbers with ones that Tammy gave me. And then, the last 2 lines are the projected 2026, 2027 fiscal year. One is without asking for any kind of an increase, and the other one is with asking for, an increase. And you'll see as you scroll down through, particularly the second page, there's a lot of, blank yellow highlighted places, and that is our programming, our supplies, meaning books, DVD, and e-content, marketing, that kind of thing. Under repair and maintenance, I left contractors and materials blank, because I'm assuming we have some room with that one. But all my numbers are estimates based on what we has decided on for this year, assuming that there's gonna be somewhat of an increase.
Which numbers? All your,
On the expenditures, I didn't put any increases on the, income other than the one column that shows the tax increase, if we decide to go for that. The decrease in the interest income was after speaking with, Colin, that the 5,000 in interest income is what he thinks is a more comfortable number to go with, because we don't have as much in a high interest bearing account. Is that correct, Colin?
That's correct. And one other thing I want to highlight on. I looked back through, in July of 2024, we received $3,000 from sales pertaining to Warren County. We did not get this in 2025.
Okay.
We did not get it in July.
what was the sales payment we got
For the county,
from the count, that was,
The 1746, that's the local library service aid. That's the only check that I've
so
gotten
last year, Colin, we got that plus another something else
from Warren County, yeah.
from one.
Warren County, and here again, it's kind of confusing to me. I don't know why they sent it down to Sal's. That's where it went. Sal's turned around and sent us a check for a little over $3,000
Last year.
last year, July of 2024. Since it's been a whole year, since July of 2025, we did not receive that.
did we ask them by any chance to see
I
if
don't
maybe,
know.
I don't,
was it
asking last
website?
I don't think we asked, they just sent it to us. So,
Janice, can
like
you
a
just-
star?
Can you just ask them?
I can ask,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, because if we're not going to get that, that's a pretty big hit.
right. And we got the LLSA check last year too, right?
Sorry.
The local library service aid, they call it LLSA.
We did.
We got that last year too.
All right.
And that was approximately $50 less than we projected, so,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you're fine. And we've also had some banking fees this year that we did not budget for. There were, I don't know what they are because we didn't get any overdraft fees and we got some notices for overdrafts, but
Yeah,
we
they
weren't
took them
assigned
right-
any
they-
fees.
I went right over to the bank personally. I said, look it. Take it off. They had no problem taking it off.
Right, so I'm not sure, but this is that 3546 in bank charges and fees is,
That,
From Tammy's
I gotta find out from Tammy on that.
okay.
Wait, what was that you just talked about?
Some bank. fees?
Expenditures where it says bank charges and fees,
Oh, I see.
3546.
You had them removed.
I had a $20 one. I don't know where she came up with the other 1546, or maybe this is something totally different. I don't know. This is the first I've seen this.
Okay. That was off of her year-to-date statement.
That's right.
Yeah, this is our.
Are we ready to start hopping in and nitpicking here?
Do you want to see the big picture first, or you want to do it like category by category?
Explain what you mean.
Like, let her keep going with some of the other categories before we come back and start? Or
I
not?
thought she was done. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, for the most part I am, but if you look at the very bottom row, the difference between revenue and expenditures, and keep in mind, we're not paying any contractors, buying any materials to make any repairs. No paid programming of any kind. And no new books, no new movies, nothing except Libby. If we do not ask for a tax increase, we're still at a deficit. Okay.
But,
What were
but
you-
that,
I don't know.
but that's,
That's impossible.
That's
because We all know that, you know what I mean?
wait, I don't understand. How
Yeah.
did we make purchases last year and have a deficit of 14? And here, if we make absolutely no purchases and have no programming,
Because
we'll have. a
if you
deficit
look
of
at the
50.
top under revenue, we borrowed $14,187 from reserve funds to balance this year's budget.
Understood. That was our deficit last year, was the 1,400.
But that's with purchasing books
14,000, right?
and everything.
But correct, but now you're telling us if we don't purchase anything, we'll still end up with a deficit of 56.
No, that's
No,
the
that's
year to date.
year-to-date. You know
Oh,
what?
I
Can we
see.
do
Okay.
this?
Be a
Can we
deficit of
take-
25.
Okay,
Can we,
2,500.
just to direct people easier, we have column A, B, C, and D across the top.
Sure.
And then when you're referring to where we are, go to the column and then go to the category. we
Right,
can
so if you
find
look
it
at
better,
column
maybe.
C, at the
Gotcha.
very bottom, it shows a deficit of approximately $2,500. With the increase, it shows a positive of approximately 6,000.
okay, which is before we spent any.
But that's,
Right, but that's not
and that's still not spending anything on books or anything else,
right.
right?
Which.
Labor.
That includes payroll, utilities, bookkeeping, professional services. There is no, I did not add the audit in, because I figured that, I don't know,
We didn't do it last year, and
right,
I wonder if we should put the reasoning, though. Colin gave the reasoning of, you know, it's ultra expensive and people can see anything that they want to with a foil. So, right, was that
Yeah, no,
the,
they
that
can.
was the thought
And now-
process? So we need to state that somewhere maybe to let people know we're not just
And when I
avoiding an audit.
do these spreadsheets, these monthly, somebody steps to me or any one of us, everybody gets a copy every month
Right, right,
of exactly who got what
right.
and why.
and it's posted on the website with the minutes.
Okay, so, yeah, all right, that's.
So I can't.
And the files are very organized.
Right,
we-
right,
We can't afford to have it, we can't afford to
Right,
spend
so
$10,000
we-
or $12,000.
right. I just wanted to make sure.
I mean,
people didn't
this is nice what Marion
misunderstand
did,
that
but,
in any way.
I mean,
Well, I know this is far from the final thing.
Oh,
It's
right.
just it's a launch pad, so to speak. I just figured it was a way to see the numbers and compare,
I think you almost gotta go by the approved budget for 2026. And just look and see exactly what we've got here in front of us, and I don't know that you can cut it. A little bit, maybe. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I'd like to see it, so
I can,
we're surviving on what we got. Uh, But here again, I mean, great topic here tonight, El Lorenzo County. I mean, that's terrible. I hate to say, it, what I mean?
Where,
I'm not
and
saying
that
they're
is
not
in
them
the
doing a good
legal,
job, but I mean, that's really an awful hit. And like, remember Josh, we
$10,000
discussed that.
that's the
We
10,000.
discussed how much, and I said, we gotta shoot for 10. And I think that's low. I hate to tell you now.
but that does include all the payroll processing fees, because they charge us for not just payroll taxes, but direct deposit. And,
Yeah, there's a lot to it. I'm not
Oh, yeah,
saying
there
that,
is.
that they're not worth it, but it's just the idea of it is, it's heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In today's world, when you're running a business.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
But at least people can see we're not increasing it. We're keeping it steady. I'm sorry, I feel like I shut you down from talking before and then we all started jumping around.
I'm not the
so
kind of guy who
would
gets shut
you-
down from talking, right? No, I'm fine. I'll wait until we're ready to nitpick, and then I'll start running my chops.
Okay. I don't know when that you-
So
when that
just want to look
happens.
at every item and write down through this.
Sure.
Well, that's what we did at the last meeting.
People, the only reason I want to put an end point on it is so that it keeps us focused and that we don't have to do it all tonight.
Mhm.
We can do it in the other meetings, so.
Previous budget meeting, we talked about negotiating the printer contract. Have we worked on that at all?
with the current contractor or shopping around?
Both.
No,
Where
we're
are
not.
we on the printer contract?
Printer contract
It is in
is
what category?
equipment rental. It's on page 1.
It's the only thing that is.
Halfway.
Rental, got it.
Okay,
So it's
That's-
1,700. My
well,
contract,
that's my guesstimate.
I don't know if they would give the same contract that we have, but I think that my contract could save us like $250 a year. So, and that's just Sealy Office Systems is who we use. And I forgot the terms of the contract that you said. Don't you pay by ink or what was you pay by prints, right?
I believe so. The toner and everything's included, and we're allowed so many black and white and so many color per month, and if we go over that, then we're charged. But we also collect money from patrons for making copies too. I don't know how much that offsets it. I would have to,
Is that any revenue?
hang on. No, it's not individually, no,
Okay,
but I
that's
have
part of it.
separate. So far this year, copying and printing fees, we collected $348.90 in copy and print. I keep a spreadsheet of all the different,
So that's pretty significant though. How much is one print?
black and white is 20 cents and color is $1.
But some
Okay.
people, when they get one print, put $1 in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, if that goes under donation, we
Oh, okay.
separate it, that goes under
Really?
donation, so this is just strictly for people who make copies and prints.
But if we can lower that 1,700, it'd be worth having a conversation with Sealy, and I would even mention 1,700 to them.
Right, I don't even know if that, I'm just guessing because we did 1,500, I'm just assuming that it's gonna go up next year. I figured $200 buffer was a good starting off spot.
So would, Marion, you would call Sealy or Josh, because you have a relationship with them, would you call them to see what they could do for us? Or,
Either or, I mean, she's gonna know the dynamics of it a little bit better.
Yeah, I
Do you-
can call Sealy. I'm also gonna check contract too. I think we have a contract with e-copiers.
Is that the company out of Saratoga?
She had said, I think she lives in Corinth. She's very local. I don't know, she told me she lives right here in Corinth.
What's the name of the company?
Electronic Office Supplies, I believe is the name. But Colette, the lady that owns it, she lives like right here in Corinth.
So you need to check with them to see if we have a contract with them.
Yes,
And it's, and obviously, let us know, but
yeah.
I would just let them know that we're trying to beat 1,700, and then I would obviously give, if we have the ability to, give the company we're already working with the opportunity to beat 1,700 as well.
Right. Like I said, that's not a quote from her, that's me guesstimating.
Right.
we also
Based on,
sort of need to be, we're sort of looking to be 1,500, aren't we, though, Josh?
That sounds perfect to me.
Because this is a S.
That's an
That's what
estimate,
it's
so
going up.
15 is the
Yeah.
actual, yep.
what's the terminology you use? We're talking proposed budget,
That's
right?
the proposed
Consider
budget.
vocabulary, be
Yes.
careful, it's proposed, it's
Yeah,
not set in
not our
stone.
yes, column A is the approved budget for the current fiscal year.
Right.
And then column C and D are proposed projections,
Yeah, definitely you want to be 15, not 17.
best guesstimates.
So that computer copier is coming from Electronic Office Products.
Yes,
So they charge us $60 a month rental fee,
Rental fee,
60 on that. And then some different colored inks, that's what I'm assuming that's for, it was $75.68. This month's bill, Josh, was $135.68
For the ink?
for rental fee and ink. That's the
because-
way
So
I'm,
that's,
that's the way I'm
yeah, so
reading
that's
it.
$135.68.
right. My understanding is the $60 covers X number of prints, color and black and white. And when we go above that, there's an additional charge.
Charges more, okay.
That's my understanding. Ink is not cheap if anybody's shopped around for it, and these are big toner cartridges. They're
Sure.
not,
Yeah,
I'm sure they are not cheap.
No.
So I don't know if she allows it, but I don't know if the option would be to buy our own toner, if that would be less expensive.
Well, you could just go to black and white, have all these great colors, that'd save you a lot of money. But
yeah.
are there other bookkeeping companies that we know of right off the top of our head?
Bookkeeping besides Di Lorenzo you're talking
Mhm.
about now?
I don't know, Josh, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm sure there is. There was a lady in Stony Creek, but she's getting ready to retire. 'Cause I
Kathy,
confront-
Kathy, my tax lady?
Yes, that's
I
what
confronted her about handling my business instead of using the person that I use.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to retire.
But I can call somebody, you know.
When you, do your library, like, you chat with the other librarians, like, don't you have a time? I don't know how frequently you do that. Who do other libraries use and how do they manage their budget for those kinds of things?
That has not been a conversation that has happened, but I can ask.
Do you network with them quite often?
No, we don't get, we have, a rural round table that meets, I thought it was monthly, but apparently it's just during the warm weather months and it's been very sporadic
Okay.
this year. We just had one last week. I attended via Zoom because it was in Lake Pleasant, which is over an hour away. So I attended via Zoom. But we talked about, I shared it with you, the brain dancing
Yep.
for story time.
Yep.
We share ideas and things like that, but I'm not always able to make it. And a lot of the librarians aren't able to make it, but this Zoom, I guess we're gonna try to start doing it through the winter months, monthly, because they don't do it in the winter because of travel and crappy roads, but they're saying this Zoom format, we're gonna try it. So I believe we're gonna try to do it monthly now.
Okay.
So you sometimes reach out to area libraries that are.
Oh, yeah, I can send out.
Maybe you could just
I've
ask.
sent out emails to, to like all directors and, sometimes I get a lot of response and sometimes I get crickets and anything in between.
But maybe some of our local libraries, Caldwell or Warren might.
They might, Schuylerville has been a good resource because they are also a school district library.
Mhm.
And they're a little,
Northville is a school library, and the only reason I keep bringing them up
Who
is
is?
because Northville. They're a school, because they're small. Schuylerville's bigger than us.
yeah, but
but,
they're closer to our size. I mean,
They
Saratoga is,
are.
well, Saratoga is also a school, public life school.
Yeah.
No,
But
I
they're
know.
like huge.
That's what I mean.
So anything they have to say, is just like,
Schuylerville's-
never mind.
Schuylerville's is larger than us too. That's why I said Northville, because they have a graduating class that's comparable to ours, even a little smaller.
Right, but they're not part of South though, are they?
They,
Might be
I
part of
don't
Mohawk
know.
Valley.
I don't know if they're. in
But anyway,
South.
just-
Mohawk Valley is south.
No, well,
Yeah.
I've emailed all these library directors before and I've gotten great response.
yeah, I mean, if,
They're,
Like I said,
they're pretty,
it varies,
but I mean, if you did, I'm saying the local small libraries, just because it would be more likely to share a bookkeeper,
Right,
locally.
right.
I can do that.
then obviously Libby is an easy elimination. If we.
Is it?
wanted that money. Absolutely.
I mean,
If we have a
but they-
negative number, yes.
But
I
it's so used.
It is very well used. In fact, hang on. I will tell you how much, because I asked Jill about it. I'm still waiting for another response from her. Because what she told me it was going to be next year is about half. And I'm like, okay, then why did we get this bill for $1,300 if it's only gonna be like $500? She has not responded. But she said, we have had, so far, year to date, we've had 4,317 checkouts through Libby.
Say it again, 4,000?
317 checkouts through Libby.
I did a webinar the other day on the behind the scenes of Libby and whatnot, and it is way more expensive for libraries to put ebooks out there in the reading verse
Oh, it is.
versus a hard copy, a physical copy of a book, and the prices are high, but it is something that's very popular, and it's also something that seems to be a
Yeah, well, I mean,
trend.
Hoopla is also extremely popular.
Yeah,
And I've been working with them because, we said, but we threw $1,000 at it for this year.
yeah,
And at the rate we're going, we're gonna be done by January. We're
Yeah.
gonna have spent our $1,000.
well, when you say this year, then that $1,000 by January is the 2026.
No,
Yeah.
January is still
Or
this.
2020.
I'm talking January of this fiscal year, because I have this, yeah.
It's not January to January.
Yeah, we're.
Oh,
July-
we're
okay,
June,
okay.
it's like the school. It's
All right,
July 1st to June 30th.
gotcha.
Yeah, I know, I have to stop and think about it a lot too.
Okay,
But now I'm hoping that what Jill is telling me is accurate, but like I said, I have a big question because this year our Libby fees were the $12.89. She's telling me they're only gonna be $5.25 next year, so I'm like, okay, so then what's this invoice for this current year? And I haven't gotten her back
Okay.
from her yet.
okay,
I may actually try to put in a
Yeah.
phone call to her tomorrow to see. She's usually very good at getting right back to me. So I don't want to get excited about that 525. I don't want to change that number yet.
Yeah.
But if I understand her, we can pull back,
Yeah.
but I don't think we should pull back on both Libby and Hoopla.
right.
I mean, and I've heard
Well,
patrons.
Libby, you're in the consortium with Sal,
Right.
right? But Hoopla, it's separate?
Hoopla is separate, yes. Not all libraries have Hoopla. We have lowered it so that across the board, originally it was everything but, I guess, audiobooks, and now everything is topped off at $1.99. So our patrons just don't see titles that are above that cost.
Oh, okay.
But our usage seems to go up every month with Hoopla, and I've heard patrons say they really like it, that it's an easier platform to use than Libby.
If we only did one of the two, if we did Hoopla and got out of Libby, would that be something that served our community and saved us money?
Well, if we only did one, it would save us money, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's only one, but I mean,
you'd have to up the hoopla in order to do that, right?
yeah.
Okay. Just. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't wanna really get us off track and start talking about it too much, but Colin and I did meet with Robert Schofield. And part of that conversation was we do have permission for fundraising. And we don't need a Friends of the Library to do that fundraising. And so I know that the Hillview Library up in Fulton Landing, they got somebody to donate like a canoe one time, and they just ran a raffle for like 3 months for people, bought tickets and somebody got the canoe. And that, I mean, that's just something we are allowed to do.
So it's a tangent because we can't figure fundraising
Right.
into the budget,
Right.
but it is a really good thing that we should
But
consider is all
consider-
kinds of,
Oh,
any
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
fundraising that
yeah.
we can do, yeah.
yes, and there's been another idea that came in from a patron was to, reach out to local businesses and see if they would sponsor a program. Like maybe Empire Pizza would sponsor team game night in October. Maybe Stone's Pharmacy would sponsor it for
Yeah.
November. Maybe another organization, maybe the Rockwell Falls General Store would,
Yeah.
sponsor a painting class. I don't know. I'm also I haven't started yet, but I have the paperwork. I am gonna apply for the LARAC grant. Again, it's a little bit different. I gotta look at that a little closer, but hopefully we will qualify for that and that will help us as well.
I had thought also about the game night thing, because when I met with, Marion, Claire and Taylor, we talked about the fact that they had tried to pull back a little bit and do game night, movie night, but the teens really want just game night. And so I think we walked away. It wasn't something we had to vote on, saying that you were just gonna do game night, but I thought about, what if you had like the fire department? It's $100 a month.
Mhm.
So I'm not asking the fire department to sponsor every, but what if they would sponsor 1 month and they would have one of the firemen or women come with the pizza and hang out with the kids and play games? And then the kids get to see them kind of bridge teenagers to just 1 month, not like, I don't
It'd
know,
also be a great recruiting opportunity,
Yeah.
again, that we'd have to be open to as well.
yeah. So I just, Taylor, we chatted a little bit and she's like, maybe she was gonna, this was just recently before she was leaving. She could write up a little like invitation thing or something, and I could go around to those meetings.
Yeah.
And offer that if you want.
No, I think it's a great idea, and I love the idea of the raffle or having raffle baskets, but there's a lot of legwork involved with getting all of that
Yeah.
together as well.
What about going after some of this bed tax money from Warren County?
Is that what the $3,000 was?
I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
That's why I just don't know, because I'm stymied because it came from sales. It didn't come from Warren County.
Well, from what I understand about the bed tax, Colin, just because of my husband being in hospitality arena, is a lot of times that money goes to benefit things that help put heads in beds. And we don't do that,
Bring bodies into the,
bring bodies into,
okay.
but I do have a contact at Warren County that I can ask.
Bed tax. I know, Jill Diamond, when she was directing the Stony Creek Library, said something about they get money from that. Stony Creek Library's not putting heads in beds,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we didn't get it last year. I didn't ask anybody about it. The check just showed up.
okay.
So you could, when you ask Sal about that Warren County check, you can also maybe find out if that had anything to do with bed tax.
Okay, so I am calling Sal's about the $3,000 check. I'm asking if it's associated with the bed tax. Someone is calling the printers
Merit,
programming, right? Do we know who?
About the e-copiers?
To talk about the.
yeah, that was Merit.
contract.
Yes,
And
but I'm doing that, yes.
Said she'll
And
call.
you're,
Yeah, because it varies. While we were talking here, just looked at, I bought a bunch of monthly statements in here. 7/1 was 136, 8/1 was 157, September 1 was 240.
So it's
Wait,
like
wait,
90 to 100 of printing costs on top of the 60 rental.
Well, I'm just looking at the bottom line. That's,
Okay,
I'm just saying, we're discussing how much a yearly is, and then just, that right there adds up in a hurry, that's all.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay, so, but that was on Marion's
I'm
list.
just trying to make sure I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Me.
And then we also said that Marion would contact some of the local small libraries about who they're using for bookkeeping to see if
Yes,
there's
yeah.
other options. And we also said that Marion was gonna check on the Libby fees. I'm just,
On what?
the Libby fees, about why there was just,
Yes.
I'm just marking off the action items.
And I'm gonna go around looking for volunteers to sponsor game night. Is that,
Yeah,
is
that's,
that culture?
Yeah.
All good?
I think that's fine, but that has, that's separate from budget.
yeah, I
Okay.
just think.
Because that's a
Just
donation.
an idea that
That's all approved within the 26-27 budget,
Right, we're
right?
just
So
trying
to-
we're
Right.
talking,
Well, no,
Okay.
the
Gotcha.
programming was approved for the current budget, which is the 25-26.
mhm,
Right,
We're talking about the proposed 26-27 budget.
right,
mhm.
How is it
So nothing-
proposed 25, 26, and then 26, because it ends in July?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's why.
It's July.
Okay.
So I
I have
argue,
to keep my brain
here
functioning.
again, the attorney says, oh, it's a bad idea, but it would be so much simpler to go from January 1 to December 31st.
And well, his argument is because we're a school district
Yeah.
library and our
School
tax,
district would,
You know,
but we get our tax funds in
On January
January.
first,
Right.
that's the thing that's
So-
really confusing.
So I'm not sure. That's
Right.
another thing I know Colin probably wants to talk about is lawyer and lawyer fees.
okay, let's talk. Where are we? Legal,
That's
Legal fees
so,
are 2,000 a year.
2,000 a year.
he's just very, very difficult to get a hold of.
I know we're jumping all over the table.
Yeah, I don't
Have you
know how
heard
to do this
anything?
better.
Have you heard anything at all from the last conversation? You and I sat there when we had a telecom.
No,
Thank you.
but
That's all I wanted to say.
That's good.
That's all we need to discuss.
Court along.
So there you go.
Question, man.
Nope, and I haven't either.
Yeah.
But
30 days.
so
Sure.
what we're waiting to hear, by the way, is that he is
He's going to reach out
Working
to our
on
insurance company.
closing down 2 accounts, 2 claims, lawsuits, blah, 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 that could be providing our library with $2,000 to $4,000 in reimbursement.
And when Ted was president, told Ted
That was-
$500.
Okay,
And we should just walk away and don't even worry about it, okay? And he also stated he's gonna reach out to our insurance companies,
yes,
and he has not.
And he has
Because I made my own personal phone calls
okay,
myself, and I don't want him,
okay,
his hand tipped in that situation, but it's wrong.
okay,
And as far as I'm concerned, we have already paid this man thousands of dollars.
okay,
This should have been gone.
right, okay.
So anyways, I know, we're just jumping everywhere.
No, but we need to solve it. So do we look for some, we all agree that we have to have legal. We have to have
Oh, yeah,
legal
you
counsel,
got
right?
it. In today's world, you got it.
All right, so our options would be a different legal counsel. Or what are our options, or what?
Well, he's
Stay or
really,
go. or-
in all honesty, he's really got us over a barrel for 2 or 3 reasons. He already knows the history
Right,
of this.
He
whole-
also knows libraries because he
Right,
does
and he
75
also knows library. Back when we were paying him every time he threw a bill at us, 7,000, 8,000, whatever, okay? He had no problem coming here, or answering us, or calling us back. But now that their firm has decided that they're all right for a blanket of $2,000, it's just like,
would you all be comfortable if I diplomatically said we're really uncomfortable with our level of service in terms of response and,
well, I'm not throwing it on you,
I mean,
Janice. I mean, you're the president.
Well, Janice is the one who's.
Yeah, that
can-
I
can-
mean,
You're
I
the you're the president of the library.
Right.
So I think it does need to come from you,
right?
not
So
from me, because obviously him and I don't have much love for one another. And I have no
you were
problem
very
with saying
civil,
that,
that's-
but you know.
Oh, it
it's
does,
like-
it has to come from Janice no matter what.
So
because that's
I
who's
need
the
to reach out and
contact
say,
person.
we're feeling, we're doing our, no, anyway,
I think what you
I
said
can
is,
formulate something and let you look at it first, but to say that we're really feeling like we're not getting the services of our legal counsel for our
Fees or
payments,
whatever.
for our fees. And these are some things, and I can state specific things that we want addressed. And
Are we consistently not getting service, or is it specifically with the insurance issue is what we have to
It's
identify beforehand?
pretty
What else is
consistent.
No, I think it's pretty consistent, Josh. I mean,
We ask him for the policies all the time.
we asked, and he responded quickly to me.
See, so I don't know if it's an overall service issue, it is specifically that issue that is to do with the insurance. I want to make sure that I fully understand it.
Yeah,
Is what
yeah.
I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt everything, but I feel like we're in a budget committee meeting and we might be talking about things that should be spoken about elsewhere.
Me or us?
Me,
Oh,
Jen, all of us.
all of us now that we're in this pool
No,
of
I'm
Okay, so
conversation.
we'll get back to
Yeah,
the
okay.
budget then.
Because,
So I'll
because
write
I'm
a
just
letter.
wondering.
Okay. So,
Got
Well, I think that the question is rotation around the fact that should we be seeking new legal counsel?
With the fee that, and we started with the amount we paid for it, so I get what you're saying.
Trying to shut you down.
I don't-
just think,
No, I understand, even if you were, you're fine. You
but
don't
I
have to
wasn't
worry
with
about
the
that.
But
entire
I'm just-
conversation.
but,
Perhaps it's
I
not.
mean, nevertheless, Maggie, not to disrupt
Mhm.
or upset anybody. To me, that should have been under old business before we started this tonight, because it was brought up last month
Mhm.
and nothing got said about it until right now. So
Okay.
that's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Thank you.
and that's fair.
Wait, what's it gonna hurt? We're looking at a new printer company, we're looking at a new
Yeah, yeah.
bookkeeping company.
Yeah.
What would it hurt to look at new legal counsel?
Right.
2,000 is a very good price though,
Yeah.
and they are the biggest firm in New York State.
And they cover 75 libraries. Mhm.
Okay, so I'll just,
well, why don't we jump back up to insurances?
Yeah,
Okay, skipped over that. Colin, you can speak to that as to how accurate my guesstimate numbers are.
Yeah, I would say that's great. That's, what did we put in?
Well, for this
What are we-
current year,
where are
we
we
got
at now?
we
Insurance.
went back up to insurance because we
Okay.
kind of skipped over that.
okay,
This year we budgeted 8,600.
Yep.
And I got 10,2, for, because I bumped everything up a little
Mhm.
bit.
Yeah, I would say that may be 1,000 high.
insurance,
Yeah,
building,
he said,
But we
what?
still, haven't got that one coverage that I've been really fighting for, that we need to be covered here in today's world.
Right,
So-
my question on that though is liability. We don't
Yeah,
have any money budgeted for liability for this current budget. Is that wrapped into the,
Should be let right into this building.
okay, that's what my question, okay. Cause it's listed that we spent it separate. When she gave me her year to date.
That was for the dishonest employee. That
Okay,
was an additional that we added to it.
okay,
So
so,
how did you come up with the insurance amounts and the increase in insurance amounts? Is that consistent with previous insurance increase amounts, or is that just something that you?
well, I mean, for building contents and dishonesty, it's 54. And, so I went up 600. A lot of it was just guesstimating. I figured it's gonna go up. Cause everything goes up and I aimed a little high.
did you have like a percentage increase that you were going with?
No, more of a flat amount. You can see I went up about $500 on each one. Colin says I might be about $1,000 high.
Hmm.
I mean, do we want to shoot high?
Do we have a broker we work with for insurance? Do we have an individual that we talk to? It's right there. I wonder if they could give us a heads up, because I know that with my specific broker, when I'm having a conversation with them, they're like, yeah, expect this kind of increase. And I
Yeah,
know
they
I'm dealing with
can
different
ask it, yeah.
insurance.
I can talk to her, Josh.
For the building
That
and
might
content.
give us a better number there.
Right,
I mean,
but-
because we're 25 over, if we have a grand hidden there and then there's a grand somewhere else.
Right,
Right.
but they don't have, CDL doesn't say do workers' comp and the PFL, that's the state that does that, correct?
That's correct.
But they'll know, right? They'll
I'm
have,
not sure that
they know
have
the
anything-
industry.
I don't know if they have
They
much to
might
do
know
with that.
the
Do you know?
calculation.
What's that?
Can our broker help us with the state insurance?
You don't.
From what,
The New York State Insurance Fund? I don't think
from
so.
what,
I think that's coming right from,
from what-
Tammy, right from the state.
yeah, from what Katrina told me, yeah, I think that's where I did get those numbers. Katrina told me, was that they wouldn't necessarily know some of those insurance fees until January. Cause I reached out to her to help me figure out payroll. And to find my notes here. We will not know New York State unemployment rates. We will not know what New York State unemployment rates will be based off of for 2026 or 2027. They don't know that yet. So. But this is disability and workers' comp. So,
Did rugs go up last year from the year before?
We're rugs.
rugs are under contract.
Very bottom of that.
He jumped down to repair and maintenance.
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
I feel like it. I don't know, it didn't go up an awful lot. I think it stayed the same this year.
Cause we have it going up $100, right?
Yeah. Like I said, just anticipating that everything seems to go up.
But
That's it.
when we have a tight budget, it's, if it's not gonna go up, it really does shoot us in the foot if we're
Right, no, I
not positive.
understand that. Like I said, these were just my best guesstimates. It's a launch pad.
Yeah.
I mean, I can ask them, but they may not be able to accurately tell us, oh, no, we're not gonna look at the things, or they may not know yet.
Hmm.
Because most businesses go January 1 to December 31st. And so that puts our fiscal year half in one year and half in another year. I can reach out to them and ask them if they anticipate an increase. But I mean, if they say no and then it goes up and we haven't budgeted, we're dipping into reserves to pay for it, one way or the other anyways.
So I personally would rather dip into reserves than have a budget that's in the red. Like that is the overall objective here, is to avoid being in the red, right? So if we do dip into the reserves to pay for something like that, that's kind of what the reserves are there for. So that would be okay. Our overall goal is to not have a red budget this year.
So you wanna put rugs back at 500?
Not necessarily. I want to have a conversation with them and see what they think about an increase, or, or looking at the history and see if there has been a increase consistently that we can trace and follow that.
Right, well, if you look at fire safety, that has been about 100. I've only had them come once. That's the fire and safety, they come and inspect all of our fire extinguishers. They've only come once since I've been here, and it was 130. I gave it a $10 buffer for the next year. The building inspection has been $75 for the last 2 years. I gave that one a $5 increase. It may not be. And then lawn and snow care, as we know, was $1,000 the first year, and it jumped up $800 for this year. And then I'm just like, well, assuming that it's gonna go up a little bit, because they said it went up because of their cost for like the ice melts.
Right,
and
right.
Well,
stuff
I mean,
like that.
Well, they gave us-
that's an outrageous price.
They give us a
$1,000,
crazy
yeah.
good deal.
So, but I'm just guesstimating that maybe it'll go up to 2,000. So, and those things we need. Now, there's no numbers in contractors or materials. I know you'll see a slight change. We budgeted 4,000 for contractors, but we did not budget the building inspection in there. We just did the fire safety, so I subtracted 75 from the contractors and put it on the building inspection. So it's the same money.
What exactly is the building inspection?
That's when the town comes and he walks through and he makes sure we're meeting fire code. That's why we had to clean out the basement that first summer, because it was a fire hazard.
Warren County Fire.
And then, the fire inspection is, New York State Fire and Safety come in and they check all of the extinguishers and make sure they're in good working order. And then if you back up above that is the utilities, is the, alarm system. I kept most everything about the same except electricity and, fuel oil. Why was the water tax $200 this year? We had budgeted 160. Did it get paid late again? Oh, okay. So I need to bump that then. The 200 for
Yeah.
next year.
You're using too much water here.
Are we on a meter?
Don't let it,
You
does
keep
it,
washing your car.
because let me
You can't
tell
keep
you, that
washing
can
your car.
really suck up. some money.
No, I have
I
a
think it
subscription to Hoffman,
I
so.
just think it's just, because we're not on a meter, so they just,
You're not on a meter here?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think
I
so.
think that's why they're just, it's a set
It's
fee.
a flat
Otherwise, when you
tax.
get a monthly bill,
We are on a meter at home.
do you get a monthly bill?
No, we get a
6 months,
yearly
right?
bill.
Is
We
it
get a yearly bill and we had a leaky, a running toilet that we ignored and it would cost us $800.
Oh, there you go. That's why
Because we
you-
were like, no way. And they said, yeah, way, let's.
Yeah. Mhm. But then, like I said,
Up in our house, you gotta worry.
I added $500 to the budget for electricity and for fuel oil, just because that keeps going up.
Mhm.
If we don't want to add it that much, obviously we can change that. Like I said, we're just my best guesstimate as a launch off.
Can I ask okay, so, yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the clock, but we have 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I think obviously we don't solve it all tonight. We go home and I personally need to digest some of the things I've been told, but is there anything in the blank yellow spaces that is not added in here that people have a strong feeling about, like what would we, like that we can't do without it or something, whatever your opinions are for the, would that be something we should talk about now? Like the blanks,
As far as where,
So there are blanks under.
anything yellow
contractors.
highlighted,
Like,
that,
there's
does the blank need to get filled in?
Not
Can you
essential
project-
purposes is pretty much what they are.
Yeah,
But these
Well,
ideas
The
of,
essential-
right,
yeah,
but
well,
that's what the reserves are for
Mhm.
though, right? And so we can go outside of the budget for reserves for something like that, have the board vote or do like an emergency kind of thing for that.
I don't know that I would be able to get behind saying books were non-essential since we are.
right. We could, I know, I was hard on this too.
Well, we're not saying books aren't essential. We're saying
But-
new book purchases for that year are not going to be
Right.
on the budget because we need to have a green budget, that is the responsibility to the taxpayers, which is more important than everything else. Because that's legally what our obligation is to be fiscally responsible. I think that these ideas about how to sustain programming are phenomenal. But why couldn't they apply to books too? You know what I mean? They would roll right in those same conversations.
What do you mean by
Donations.
books?
The kind of donation.
For purchasing of books?
Yep.
Cause, well, the only thing I would say to that is that, like a book coming out, new releases are every Tuesday, and like coming into a library where there's a new title that you've been expecting and excited about is on the shelf is a draw for people to come in. It doesn't mean, and so therefore, having a budget that says, here's how much we're gonna spend over the course of the year, so you're ahead of the game versus catching up from donations, is something I think makes a library vibrant and thriving. I understand it's not.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, but, so maybe it can't be 15,000, but, it can be less than that. But as far as looking for donations on books, it's hard because of the time frame, the lag time in ordering and getting, and then trying to get them up there, like, they're current, they're new.
Yeah, and I've talked to other libraries and, I mean, the smaller ones, they're having the same trouble. It's like either it's feast or famine. They either get a dump truckload or they can't get them. And now I guess Baker and Taylor has been sold, they're being taken over by Barnes and Noble, which is creating all kinds of havoc for people who are shopping with Barnes and Noble. And obviously, I mean, the dream would be able to just have a standing order, send me all the new releases, but we don't have that kind of a budget.
We could lower the 15,000.
But,
Where you saying 15,000?
There-
That was
nothing.
what last
Books,
year.
yes, okay,
Books was.
got it. It's yellow in the
It's
projected for
nothing
this
right
year.
now.
because there's
Yeah.
nothing in there.
But here's the issue though. What's our overall goal as a library? It's books on a shelf, not books on a tablet or something that's running libraries like this out of relevancy, right? We're funding Libby, but we're not funding books. new book purchases for the next year. So that seems like a
Well, I
glaring.
have Libby there because it's my understanding that we're stuck with it. I'm still trying to get an actual completely clear answer on that. I have not gotten it yet.
We get Libby through sales. It's not like we buy Libby.
Right.
But we
We're
pay for
part of a
Libby.
consortium. We do pay.
Yes. It's
We
part
pay
of
into a
consortium.
consortium that has.
Yes, and I believe our fees are based on the
Yeah,
population.
and how many libraries buy into it.
Right.
And I don't know that I hear what you're saying, Josh, but it's not exactly different than a book just because it's digital versus print. I mean.
We'll think about the
book, book,
conversation
book,
though.
book, book. I
Is it,
know.
is it physical library or is it everyone's gonna go to a library online? I mean, what's our overall
Well, maybe
goal that we're
there's a
trying to
little bit of
achieve?
a balance in there. So we have maybe a little bit less in the physical book, trust me, this is killing me. A little bit less in the physical book purchasing thing and keeping the digital that are very popular and accessed. Balancing that, I'm saying.
I mean, and as far as materials go, I don't want to do it, to be very clear. But if I had to choose, I would choose books over DVDs and magazines or getting more puzzles and STEM kits. You know, books would be the absolute priority. DVDs do still circulate, amazingly enough. DVDs still do circulate.
I don't even have a DVD. Like,
Yeah,
what do they
who has
play
a
them on?
Player,
It's like you got a lot of puzzles.
And I
They
believe
don't
all of them
cost
have been
anything.
donated.
They're
I've not
donated.
purchased, I purchased a few puzzles last year, but they
Yeah.
were for smaller, like 100-piece. And we've had some donated for, because we had the chunky and then we jumped up to like 300. There was nothing in between. So we've got a few in betweens. The miscellaneous budget also is for STEM kits. Our STEM kits, some of them have been well loved and are
Yeah.
missing some pieces.
When you have under programming classes and then painting, is that the only thing? Is the
Well-
painting classes that's in that category?
Well, that's what it is for this year. I mean, that's the only class that I have paid for since I started. When I say paid programming as a separate line, that's like when we had, the music.
The music, that's why I was
We
wondering,
had
Okay.
Professor Pickle, but I mean.
how
and
come
that-
it's not in the year-to-date though? Cause you've already had the Luzerne music.
That is a good question. I missed that. Well, so it's not individually, but at the bottom, you can see the 2373 has been spent.
Oh,
Total.
okay,
She didn't have it broken down
okay.
per thing. And the movie license we haven't gotten yet, that renews in February.
Okay,
And, I mean, and we're really working hard right now to do a lot of, even more in-house programming. And every time we do a program, we do evaluate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of an automatic thing because we look at the attendance. I mean, we had 2 $500 programs over the summer.
Yeah.
One was the music camp. The staff came and that was very well attended. I think we had 25-ish people here. They were here for about an hour and a half. Everybody loved it. We had Professor Pickle who came. And we had, I don't know, I think maybe 16-ish kids and adults. It was good, but we looked at it and we're like, he didn't really deliver what we thought he was gonna deliver. We didn't get the crowd we were hoping for. It's probably not gonna have him back again. But we're just constantly, but sometimes you don't know until you try. That being said, not realizing the budgetary issues, had I had a better understanding prior to that, I would not have pre-booked them before the budget was done. Because that's an expensive thing, but that would definitely be the dream to be able to have that. Because it's not uncommon for a library program to have to pay somebody to come in. They seem to be $500-600. But Taylor's Crafts are very popular too.
Yeah.
We started adult craft afternoon every first and third Thursday for adults. And what did we have, 10, 12 people here? Something like that.
Yeah,
And they had a delightful time.
Yeah.
We had a couple, I think we had 2 or 3 senior citizens and some of the kids from the high school came down from the school to work program, and it was really neat to see the interaction,
Yeah.
and they left thanking us for a lovely afternoon.
Yeah.
Would we ever consider charging?
We're not
I
allowed.
don't think we
Oh, you're
can
not allowed.
because the taxes paid for.
No, we're not
We're
allowed
not
to
allowed to
charge.
charge.
No, I got an email from Sarah when Ted was still president, that we're not allowed
Yeah.
to charge.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
For
Because
any
people have,
programming?
because
No.
people have technically paid
Paid
already by paying the taxes
Yeah.
that support the library.
So I would suggest that when we're talking about donations for various, seeking donations for various things, I would be a lot more comfortable seeking donations for programming, or seeing if people will do free programs for us, than completely cutting out the book budget. I understand that we're gonna have to cut the book budget down, and I think we can also ask for donations for that, like the Marion's wish list kind of thing. But in terms of getting books, we are a library, we cannot eliminate a book budget.
I
Yeah.
I agree, but we have to be careful how we ask for book donations, because sometimes people donate books that are beautiful and they're a wonderful thing to
No,
have.
Not the physical
no,
book
we need-
donated, but money to
Yeah,
buy books.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was,
That's what I think, what I was thinking is there are people who do want to donate to the library, but they don't want to just,
So you're asking them to sponsor a new book?
sponsor a
maybe?
new book. Yes, if we had I think if we had something on the website that was like staff wish list or Marion wish list,
Yeah.
then it was like, we want to buy 6 new books and it would cost us this much, people might donate toward that.
I thought people could even donate like in memoriam or in honor of, they don't, someone, and there could be a book plate that goes in the book. Like I want to give $100 in memory of someone like Kathy Garofalo that painted the mural. I'm gonna give $100 to buy books in her name. I want all the books bought with that money to get a book plate in it that says in Kathy's honor or something.
But
Or
there'd
is
be
that
some
too
books that wouldn't
complicated?
be my name put in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but,
That would be tricky.
so you shouldn't do that then, but
I
I.
definitely am not doing that.
right, well, I
Well,
mean,
it sounds that way.
that would definitely be, a one way, but I mean, when,
Is that too complicated?
It
Just-
is,
Just,
because then you
just
break down.
give the money in memory and we can say thank you
Right.
in memory. We don't have. to-
right, but I mean, when we got some of those, we did get some checks for Kathy last year.
Right,
But
right.
it wasn't earmarked, it just went into the general.
Yeah.
Budget, and usually any donation we get, unless it's specific, I know, like Ann Green specifically donated money
To the teen
the
program,
teen
yeah.
program. But unless we get, they specifically say we're donating this for, it just goes into the general budget.
Sure, and I think some people just want to make a donation, like the Fourth Lake community just wanted to make a donation.
Yeah.
But I think if people see a particular need, like, for example, teen game night, we get them a pizza, it costs $100 a month. Would somebody like to sponsor a month? I think that
Right.
people, when they see something specific, they're like, oh, I can actually solve this one particular problem. I think you might get donations
Yeah.
that way.
Right,
And always offer them the opportunity to add value for them as well, promotional stuff that's out there with their name on it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
But the one thing that we have to be careful of is exhausting the public, because I
Right.
still repeatedly hear people say, I had no idea your town had a library. I had no idea there was a library there. And so if all we're doing is asking for, a free thing here, a donation here, this here, this here, this here, we have to pace ourselves, because people are gonna get inundated, especially if we're gonna eventually be asking for some kind of tax increase as well.
It's true, and there are a limited number of businesses here, so you keep going back to the same businesses over and over again.
right, and they get hit by the school district as well.
And then everyone else doing fundraising.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it is not 8 o'clock yet, but it feels like it would be a time, unless we're all hearts clear for the moment, that we can go home and think
That's fine.
and strategize and look and.
And what's our plan for the next, budget committee meeting?
Okay, well, I have the next 2 plans, and so November, figure we'll deal with the policies. I know you won't be there, but we'll deal with policies, and we'll have to have an executive committee meeting after for the evaluation. You won't be there for that though, right? November, you won't be here.
I probably won't be here, right?
You might, okay.
There's a
Oh.
potential, but it's a small potential.
Okay,
If we're between curriculums, I could make it work, but I don't think we will be. I think we're at the cusp of that right now.
it's the
Well-
19th, I think is the November meeting, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So we'll be dealing
I
with,
think it's the 18th.
is it?
I will tell you in just a second here.
But we'll be
The
dealing
18th.
with policy 18th, we'll be dealing with policy approvals, pay the bills like usual, and have the executive meeting afterwards to, consolidate our evaluations.
And
You'll have turned yours in then?
Yeah.
You're
so
right.
you're comfortable with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll email it to her, to
No,
Mary.
you have to email it to
Can't
me.
email.
Oh, right, it's her
Her
evaluation.
evaluation.
I'll email it to Maggie, so
Why
Maggie
won't you
can,
email it to me?
because you don't get emails.
Oh, I get emails, I just don't.
Yeah,
I
I
get
can
send
attach
them
them
out.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
But
so if you send it to me as an attachment, I. can
So
print
when
it.
are we
Okay.
having our next budget meeting?
and then, well, okay, so then December, you're not here,
Correct.
right? And we don't want a budget meeting without you. I was thinking ahead to that. So
So should we,
January would be or an extra meeting.
extra
It might have to be an extra meeting.
okay, so, Josh has the most trouble making extra meetings, I think.
Well, what do we got? What are our options?
So we're looking maybe a meeting in November. I know there's that
Oh,
pesky
God.
holiday in November. Okay, beginning of December.
It would be better, yeah, it'd be better for me. 'cause
Do that when they
November,
can't.
Beginning of
I'm
December.
down For 10 days.
Yeah,
Cooking
yeah.
at the camp.
Okay, so maybe
I
you
could
want,
do December 12th.
That's a Friday, everybody. And
I'm back
okay.
in town by then.
You'll be back in town?
Yeah, I get back late the night before.
Can we do it,
I could do it
we
in,
have a board meeting the 9th of December.
Right.
So then on the 12th, can we do it
I could do it earlier.
earlier that day?
Let me just make sure I don't have some,
It's on Friday.
It's a Friday.
let me just double check the calendar. Is there some day that I have? Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I could do it earlier in the day if people want to meet. I mean, I could meet maybe as early as 3. I could certainly meet at 4.
What about 3:30? Let's,
Well, what about,
is that, okay?
Friday I can move around.
okay,
Can we do 3:30?
Yeah, I
I
can
can
be here
do
by
it.
3:30.
can you do that? Is 4 better for you, Colin, or is 3:30 okay?
No, I can get here. for 3:30.
Okay,
I
so
just don't
December
work
12th,
right here.
3:30 budget committee.
Okay.
That
Because
work
we
for you,
have to
Zach?
have this finalized by January, right?
By February, really, but yeah,
If we're asking for an increase by
But, yeah.
February. And if not, then,
if
Later.
we've hashed it out.
okay,
We don't need so much.
Well, if we've hashed it out and we're not asking for an increase, then is this still March? We have to have a budget?
February for
Why,
increase.
because if we're not looking for an increase, there's nothing for anybody to vote on.
Oh, that's true. That's true. March is when I have to tell them that we have a seat. So you're either running for or not running for, or whatever you're gonna do.
It's
By
not till
March.
March, I thought it was earlier than that.
That was the budget. We're
Okay.
putting the increase because they start putting, I think it's because they start putting together that,
Right.
newsletter that goes home.
Yes.
And then,
and then.
and we have to get out there and, yeah.
Okay,
And I do need training certificates from people. So,
right, and, we haven't adjourned, so we have to adjourn.
Yeah.
We're
oh,
adjourned.
yeah. Did you get a hold of Sal? Did sexual harassment training come through for
No,
Sal?
it hasn't.
It hasn't happened yet?
No, they have to buy them in increments of 5.
Uh-huh.
But
And
there are other, you did a free one from the state, right?
I still need the certificate though. You just have to.
Yeah, it's just a self-insurance thing.
Oh, the
But you-
self-insurance.
Was someone gonna send me a link to?
Yeah, do you have that link that you could?
I can figure it out.
Yeah, great, because then you don't have to wait for anything.
Okay.
And we don't have to pay either, whatever we paid last time, $5 for it.
Yeah.
I think it's like $18-ish per test.
But there's a free.
This stuff's been online, Josh, that you can.
Mhm.
Yes,
We're supposed to be getting
Through the work.
it next month.
Through the
Work. So I
Mhm.
Oh, next month?
hanging
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the code of ethics thing we have to sign for the year.
Okay, that was the other thing. So I'll make sure I have that for next month.
It's code of ethics, conflict of interest.
Okay. And I'll email it to everyone. so
And
we
as
don't-
far as the volunteer policy goes,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to hear back from
Right,
Robert,
about
so that
that.
we can talk about it. He has the employee handbook. He doesn't like it.
Okay.
And, you know, we just have not been able to connect for a time.
Okay. All right, then,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that
There you
motion.
go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I know I don't get a vote, but I'm in favor.
7:55.